Okay, hello and welcome to Real Talk, and we are coming into more episodes for you. Very excited. Hello from Liberate Me, and today we are talking about, what are we talking about? We are talking about who are you really? Like, who are you? And this is about reclaiming your true identity after trauma. And a trauma can be a change of plan, a loss of job, it can be a divorce. And today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my story when it comes to finding my identity after many traumas. I may mention one or two as we go in to help you, tell you why this is a good idea. All right. So, because to find your true identity, you don't really have to find it. You actually activate your way into it. We do that with your individual profile signature. So the way that works is quite brilliant, and wow, it is pretty incredible. So for me, let me work my way into the story here for you. Let me just get my notes here. Okay, so my story here, being born and raised in London as a second generation UK born Indian, and for a time, you know, my family and we really thrived. But we did hit a level of trauma. So that was one of the traumas. And then I also had traumas as I was going through my 20s. One of the biggest turning points in my life was losing my father to suicide when I was 17. And, you know, it shattered my world, obviously. And it made me realize there's nothing worse than a wasted life, which is where the sort of seed for Liberate Me came about. It didn't happen immediately. It's something like anything was wanting to come out and sprout and grow, and it did, and it has. So it took me into, well, who am I really without my dad, without this culture, without what I thought everything that was going to be, and who am I without all the different masks? And then that took me into, I've been married twice, divorced twice. So as you can imagine, I used to say getting divorced is like having a head-on car collision. It is intense because it's love, it's a loss of a dream, it's a loss of a partner, and they're not actually lost. Like with my dad, as horrific as that is, he was gone. There was no going back, right? But it is like going through grief, even though, you know, they're still alive, right? And you're actually making this decision to put yourself through it, or they've made that decision, or it might be mutual. And then you feel like a complete loss of identity. It's like you lost yourself completely, especially if you put all your effort into being there for that person and you worked on it really hard, or maybe they did and you didn't, or they didn't and you put everything into it, just to walk out with absolutely nothing, putting all that effort, all that love, all what it takes to resolve conflicts, grow together, build a life together, a home together, just for it all to combust. And so for me, my divorce was, I'll talk about the second one because that feels like more of a proper marriage, because it's a long-term marriage. The first one, that's a different story. If you want to know that story, you can reach out to me. I'm sure I'll talk about it at some point. But this story, I was in the corporate world for a good few years. We were married 5 years, and yeah, it just blows the life out of you. And I came out of that and I was like, well, who am I? Like, what do I even like to eat? How do I like to dress? What do I even like to do? Who am I gonna be now? What do I like to enjoy? What am I gonna do now? And it can feel really, but it was also relieving and freeing, right? It's like, okay, I've got another chance, I've got independence, but who am I? So it really is a discovery of yourself, and finding that out is everything. So I began to rebuild my life in many different ways, and this involved taking a sabbatical, going traveling on my own. In my early 30s, wasn't really the done thing, but that's what I did, and that was really helpful to travel around, be with myself. And it also brought up a lot for me because I had a lot of root elements, I had a lot of false elements, things that I am not, and I was trying to figure out, well, what are my true elements? Who am I here to be? How am I here to operate? What am I here to do? I wasn't really trying to figure it out, but just kind of being with it, and it started to come through. This is when, at that point, the identity I realized I'd been embodying was pleasing, pretending, proving, so I dropped the performance. I was doing that at work, I was doing it with my family, with friends, everywhere, because, I didn't think just being myself was enough to be loved, enough to be wanted, and I'd be rejected. Right? If I was just being myself, my crazy self, and my multifaceted self. And so if I was in that true identity, that would be not a good thing. But it was at that point, and this is 5 degrees at a time. This is a story from long ago, not where I am now, but I found my voice. So I found my voice, and today I'm here at Liberate Me, so I don't just do this. I live from purpose. I live from making sure I'm being myself, which isn't easy because you get judged and rejected and all kinds of things when you really are yourself. And I had to check, well, is this really myself? Or is it just something I've inherited or something I'm carrying? Is it I'm overprotecting myself by having this trait, like saying that I don't have time, or I'm an introvert? Am I? Or is that a self-protection mechanism? So it's asking yourself these questions, and really not in a way to freak yourself out, but really like, well, who am I? Because finding your way home and your true identity is when everything cracks open. What you desire, even better, it is utter freedom, I cannot tell you. And it opens up so many doors that otherwise close, because we're closing them to ourselves because we're in an identity that we're not, which doesn't help, okay? So I help others to reconnect and live out their true identity and step into truth. And what starts to open up for me, for them, is quite phenomenal. Yeah, but to be honest, the major prize is just not having to pretend anymore and to be myself. That is freedom without all of the other stuff. We're here in Columbus for events in the US. I mean, crazy. If you said I was going to be living this life at that point, oh my goodness. If I could have told that girl, like, hey, you'll be living this life, doing this and running your own business and all the stuff, and remarried now, not without challenge. Relationships don't come without challenge. So it's not about, happily ever after, because this is life and we want to utilize real life to get the best out of it, okay? Because actually the best is in the bad experiences, okay? It's the B and B, right? Bad and best, they're the same. So when we get a bad experience and we use it for the magic in it, and we know how to do that with our individual identity signatures, magic happens. When we're trying to avoid any bad or suppress it or just bypass it, like get divorced but just like move on, or have a loss or have a change or have something that upsets you and just move on and not use it for what it was here for, because it happened for a reason, not just like that cliche saying, but for a real reason for you to utilize it and activate another piece of your identity, which is an amazing thing. So yes. So what I understood is that real transformation, finding out who you are, coming into your true identity and living a life of fulfillment, is all about stopping blaming. Okay, because when I got divorced, obviously, right? And I'm not saying I didn't, right? It's okay to have the initial human reaction, but to blame and also to come out of the victim, big one. If you want to find your true identity and live a life of freedom and be comfortable in your skin and have your dreams come true, if I could tell you anything, stop blaming. Get out of that victim, do what it takes to do that. It doesn't just happen, it is usually a process, something to activate, okay? But it is really, really important, because then you can face your fears. And that's what I did, feel the fear and do it anyway. So that's what I did. I went traveling, I got to know myself, which is crazy. I traveled on my own for the first time. I never thought I would do that. I met some incredible people. I met myself. Right? Which is the best thing ever, because we are constantly in pain when we don't know how to meet ourselves, when we are in parts of our identity that is not us. It causes illness, stress, all of the things, okay? So my invitation to you today, and it was my invitation to myself, it still is, for my next involvement, next upgrade, it never stops. There are always challenges, because that's the way we're designed. It's meant to be that way. And then we use it for your next upgrade, for your next identity upgrade, okay? So you want to be someone that says, I've changed. You don't want to be someone that says, oh, you haven't changed at all. You're exactly the same. When from when you were 20 years old, because that just helps other people feel good potentially, you feel bad, and it really doesn't do a lot for them because they can't grow either, because we're saying we all got to be the same when we're all actually different. We have unique identities. We should all be completely different and changing day by day, year by year. You be looking back, yes, you'll have an essence that may say the same, or you get to bring out a bit more, but essentially change is good, right? So we want to get good at it, and using the hard experiences, like traumatic experiences like divorce or whatever it may be for you, to not just break free and get the relief. I mean, yeah, that's short-lived because the challenges come back in another relationship, another form, because they're here for us to create something from it, okay? So, but also to get radically honest with yourself, and that cliche saying of find yourself, your true identity. So just seeing if there's anything else I wanted to say. So it's about pain isn't the enemy. Pain isn't the enemy. An argument, an upset, altercation, of something that's thrown you off plan is not the enemy. Okay, it is actually a friend. If we can use it as a friend and go, what's inside of here for me to use and activate? Because it's trying to get you out of who you're not, what we call your false elements, into who you are, your true elements, and they're individual, bespoke to you in your individual identity profile signature, right? So it's kind of the pain or the divorce or the loss of job or the change or the trauma, whatever, excuse me, that is for you. It is a portal, and it's a portal to your breakthrough. The breakthrough is just on the other side of it and coming into your true identity. And obviously, when you're comfortable in your own skin and in your true identity, it makes logical sense, doesn't it? Good things happen, right? You have a good energy, you feel good, okay? So yes, it is absolutely epic. I just wondered if I wanted to say anything else. So if you're feeling lost or disconnected or like something is missing, you're not alone. We are all in this human experience together. We are in this together. I'm in it together with you. We will all have moments like this, some big, some subtle, but when you know how to use them and quickly transcend them into more of who you're here to be, what you're here to enjoy, what you're here to have, it's amazing. So I see you, I understand you, and this could be the start, whatever your trauma is right now, or divorce, or even if it's in the past and you felt like you just kind of bypassed it and moved on, it's still usable, okay? It doesn't expire. You can still use it if it hasn't been used. And so this could be the start of everything changing for you. So yeah, this is the start of everything changing for you. So I'm here to help you do the same, okay? Through your unique signature. It's activating creation through the pain, creation of what you desire, or even better. So it's turning struggle into strength rather than making struggle the enemy of trying to get rid of it, okay? Because there's a reason that it's by design that we have these struggles, and you want to become a real sovereign to it, right? A real amazing leader to it. So just checking if there's anything else I wanted to say. So that's a little bit of my personal journey. A lot of it was about post-divorce, post-loss of all kinds. And quick reminder, join our events. We have an event in Columbus tomorrow. I was going to say today, but it's going to be tomorrow, but you're probably going to see this later. So you'll probably hear the recap. And we have events in Miami. We have events in Dubai coming up in June for Global Wellness Day. And coming into your identity really is about wellness because it makes you feel really, really well. So thank you for listening. This has been Real Talk with Anita. Liberate me. Take care. And we shall speak to you soon. Bye-bye.